And welcome to St. Teresa's Academy. We're at the McDonald Family Sports Complex. Tonight's Ivy High School Game of the Week. Girls High School Lacrosse is Lee Summit North 6-4 taking on St. Teresa's Academy. They are 9-3 on the year. Hi everybody, Kevin White with Andrew Elmer. We welcome you to the Ivy High School Game of the Week here on Metro Sports. Now earlier this season we've done a couple of boys lacrosse games. Tonight it's girls action. What's the difference between the two games?
Well, Kevin, the girls will have a little larger field. They'll have different markings on the field. Other than that, the main difference is that the sticks and the equipment are different. Also in the girls game, they don't face off at an X or a face-off square. They face off in what is called the draw zone. Other than that, it'll be a fast game, a lot of quick restarts, and it should be fun.
And these teams met earlier this year, and the Stars beat the Broncos 9-6, so they're looking for the season sweep. We'll have our lineups and opening draw after this timeout as you're watching Metro Sports. It's a senior day here for the seniors of St. Teresa's Academy. They come in with a record of 9-3, 4-2 in the league, and taking on Lee Summit North, 6-4 overall, 3-4 in the league. And there you take a look at some of the seniors being honored on this very Kansas City-like spring late afternoon. We got some wind, we got some warmth, we got a chance of some showers, but we do have field turf here at the beautiful McDonald Family Sports Complex. Let's meet your coaches for this matchup. And there's Jessica Hanna, the 32-year-old head coach in her 6th year, former Olathe East grad. Played lacrosse at KU on a club level. Works with the Kansas City Police Crime Lab. She is a forensic scientist. And you can ask her, yeah, are you like one of those CSI people, Jessica? And she's like, yes. That's what I do. So she also is a very good lacrosse coach. Her team has only 3 losses this year. Lost to Blue Valley, Scion, and a St. Louis team. And Lee Summit North coached by Chris Klein. He's in his 2nd year. Formerly a competitive baseball coach for 10 years, but he's picked up the lacrosse game. Mainly because his daughter is the biggest star on the team and went to clinics, videos, some books. He loves coaching this sport. He's originally from Florida. He works with CenturyLink. He's a process improvement manager. 47-year-old head coach. His daughter Maddie is their big star. Also Shayna Stevens, a big-time scorer, a junior, as we're ready for the opening draw. Now this is different from the boys, Andrew. The boys have face-offs. They're on the ground. The girls have it up in the air there.
That's right, Kevin. The girls need to, when they draw, they need to get the ball above both opponents' heads.
This is the coach's daughter, Maddie Klein, going to Nebraska on a music scholarship, but she wants to play club lacrosse at Lincoln there, University of Nebraska. She wants to start a program as we have an early whistle. Your officials, Darren Wright and Sydney Bennett. In the girls' game, they call the officials umpires. Possession goes over to the Stars, and they'll bring it up. Audrey Muehlbach with it. Now, her brother Peter was a tremendous player at Rockhurst. He was an All-American, now playing club lacrosse at KU. So we have some of the bloodlines. Some of the keys in this matchup, Andrew. St. Teresa's relies heavily on their defense, but their offense has struggled putting the ball in the back of the net. On the other side, Lee Summit North has won 6 of their last 7. They lost to Blue Valley last night, but Blue Valley is the top team in this girls lacrosse metro area league. They lost 15-13. They want to keep up the winning ways, keep up their confidence. St. Teresa's very patient. They throw it out front. They'll get a shot. Looks like we got contact and we got an obstruction. And it'll be St. Teresa's with the advantage here as they'll get a free shot. That's different from the boys' game as well.
Right. Anybody that's watching that's wondering why aren't the girls taking it right to the goal like the boys do, Well, the big difference is in the girls' game is that they cannot check each other's stick or make any sort of body checks. And the girl with the ball that's going to shoot, she cannot shoot if somebody is in between the goal and herself.
Look at Lauren Anderson, the goalkeeper. And here comes the Broncos back into the other end. With a 6-game winning streak snapped last night. They'll take a shot and score. And knocking it in is Erin Nichols, the senior, with her 5th goal of the year. She's a 3-year player. And it is 1-0. The Broncos on top of the Stars of St. Teresa's as you take a look at Kelly Jenks, 69% save percentage. But this time gets beat by number 5, Erin Nichols.
Just like you'd see in the boys' game, bounce shots are extremely effective for the girls as well. She found that low away corner and put it away, put Lee Summit North up by 1.
Back to the draw zone. Sydney Hunter, or I beg your pardon, make that Sydney Edmonds. And 2 Sydneys that do the draws for St. Teresa's. Good pass. Trying to get a player set up. Natalie Rawl there.
Now you see St. Teresa's passing the ball extremely quickly. In the girls' game, you must pass the ball well to score because you can't rely on one-on-one dodges, whereas the boys can kind of take that one-on-one matchup and test their defenders.
Yeah, it's a less physical game. The girls don't wear the helmets, only the goalies do. Good pass out front, and the shot is denied by Lauren Anderson. She cannot find the ball. Now she does. So taking the shot, Sydney Edmonds, the sophomore, but Lauren Anderson, a junior goalkeeper, also a softball catcher. That's why they have her back there. They say her reaction time from catching softball has made her a good goalkeeper, but she's still learning the position as the Broncos attacking.
Another point to note, Kevin, is the goalie equipment. The girls as well, they wear a protective helmet and a protective throat guard. Their cross is also the same dimensions as the boys, for those that have seen the boys play so far this year on our broadcasts. The girls also, the goalies, they wear padded gloves. And the girls that are out on the field, they have the choice to wear gloves or not. And we see many of the girls out here not wearing gloves.
Free shot taken for Shayna Stevens, and she's denied by Jenks. Nice goalkeeping there by Kelly, the senior, going to play club lacrosse at Denver. Broncos still wanting more. Another nice save by Jenks. And spinning around and making a very nice move. There was Malia Sapp, but she was denied by the STA keeper there. Stars going to set up their offense. Their leading goal scorer is Ann Knowlton, a sophomore. Pass it out front, and then it's knocked in.
Nice shot.
Katie Hornbeck, the junior, with the first Stars goal of the game. And we're tied at 1. Hornbeck leads the team in ground balls and draw control. She's one of the better athletes at the high school, a tremendous swimmer, tennis player. She's their big stud, and she gets the first goal of the game and ties it at 1. Maddie Klein and Sydney Edmonds. Draw area. Maddie's so good at those draws, but St. Teresa's will come out of it with it. Molly Woolery bring it into the offensive zone. Quite a facility they have here at St. Teresa's Academy. This is a soccer and lacrosse only field. So the nice lines defined on the field.
They want a booth rack.
It's also interesting to note that the girls' field is wider, and it can be wider and longer. And up until 10 years ago, 10 years or so, there were no boundaries for the girls' game. So you could see girls running on the track right now, actually, if we were doing this broadcast
Right in our
50
broadcast
years ago.
area?
Absolutely.
Shot
be
is
kind of
denied.
fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Just part of the regular broadcast here. Have the players running into our laps as quickly back is Stevens. Stevens is hit, and the whistle blows. Shayna Stevens is their speed player, turning starter. She'll be their big star next year. Comes in with 21 goals. She had a half dozen last night in the loss to Blue Valley. Now she'll get the free shot, and she'll knock it in. So after a 6-goal night last night, Shayna Stevens scoring.
We see here as Shayna restarts. She's got a step on the defenders, places a nice shot, low and away, in the most difficult spot for the goalie to stop it.
So she's feeling good about her offense right now. She's got the war paint on, ready to go, and after 6 goals in the loss to Blue Valley, she scores early in this one. North back on top, 2-1 here. 2 25-minute halves.
Yeah, Kevin, we just got a nice look at the protective eyewear that the girls are sporting, and what that's meant to protect their eyes, as well as some of the other sensitive areas on the face. Again, up until 10 years ago, they did not wear that eye protection.
And wear the mouth guards as well. This game, as far as the girls, they're always promoting safety, but they have their share of bumps, bruises, concussions. But safety is the #1 issue as far as the rules go. And
so we have a whistle there, and you'll notice that everybody stops. When the whistle's blown, every girl on the field has to stop in that position. And then you'll have a restart once the umpire gets everybody into place.
Wrap. Hit the Stars player, and they'll give it back to St. Teresa's, down by a goal here, and 2 players hit the deck there. Stars maintaining possession. Well, they try to keep the physical play out of it, but there's always going to be some of it in this sport. Aaronsburg brought it in. Pass it into the middle. Scooped up. Shot no good there as they were trying to get it into Sydney Edmonds. Whistle blows. Now the officials are going to huddle. Once again, your umpires in this game: Darren Wright, 2nd year, and Sydney Bennett. Teams in action right here on this field on Saturday for the league championship for the KCMGLA. The Scion and St. Teresa's at noon. Summit North going to play Blue Valley in the 1 versus 4 matchup at 10 a.m. 2-3 matchup. Scion will be the 2 seed. St. Teresa's will be the 3 seed. That'll be noon right here on this field. They'll have a JV title game at 2 o'clock. Then they'll have the varsity championship at 4 o'clock. Good pass. Shot denied by Anderson.
Another thing you see in the difference between the boys and the girls game is in the girls game, the goaltender can use her hand to pick up a loose ball that's in the goal crease.
Anna Mayer took that last shot. Now we'll get another whistle and stoppage in play at the 15-minute mark here to go. Goals by Nichols and Stevens. Broncos lead it. And quickly back the other way. Ann Knowlton. Ann pressing the issue. Takes the shot. She's their leading goal scorer. And Anderson equal to the task this time. Seeing some good goalkeeping thus far.
Good save, Kevin. And it was a good shot, a lot of good speed on it, but it was placed right into the goalie's chest. And just like in the boys' game, you got to find those pockets or find the open spaces on the goal.
We'll see probably a revolving door at goalie for Lee Summit North. We could see Kenzie Hallett, the junior, potentially. They like to go with the hot keeper. Anderson looks pretty good early. Pass out front. That's Aaronsburg. And she doesn't like things, so she'll reset up the offense.
Kevin, everything in girls lacrosse, it revolves around this 12-meter and this 8-meter arc. Most of the offensive shots that you will see come within both of those zones. In the girls' game, you're allowed to shoot outside of the 12-meter arc, but you'll see most shots within it.
And Knowlton was stopped on that last shot. And here comes the Broncos of Lee Summit North. And we got a whistle and a stoppage in play. And a penalty coming up on STA, it looks like, as moving it up quickly was Maddie Klein, and the defender was kind of riding her up the field. And I think that's what the stoppage is about.
Like we talked about prior to the game, in girls, you cannot check the other opponent in the body. And what you have to do when you're checking is you need to aim for the spot where that stick might be, and that stick cannot be in front of, or if the stick is close to the body, you can't check at it. You have to check at it when it is moving back, or as the girls are cradling, as the stick goes behind their head. So it's kind of tricky, whereas the guys can just kind of slap away, and it looks very aggressive and violent. The girls have to be more precise and calculated with their checks.
Maddie Klein, a high attack. Shot went low. Jenks got a piece of it, sent it off to the side. Both keepers having good starts to the game. Jenks is a loud player, they say. She's very aggressive. She'll move the ball up the field. Missed a game. She got a knee bruise during warm-ups, taking shots from her teammates and coaching staff. She bounced right back. St. Teresa's very patient. Looks like Lee Summit North is quicker to strike. Shot going wide there. That was Edmonds, the sophomore.
On a nice backdoor cut.
Say right now, shots on goal has to favor the home team. And black and gold. Here comes Lee Summit North. Gonna bring it up. I think it's 10-4. Stars leading shots on goal. And scooping and going the other way is Hornbeck. Sister Kylie plays Division II tennis at Trinity University in San Antonio. It's a very athletic family.
Nice check by the St. Teresa's defender.
Yeah.
Nice ground ball.
That was Knowlton, the sophomore. Now she goes with a middle pass. Hornbeck the catch, doesn't like things, plays it back out front. And now can't handle it in a pass, but the Stars will keep it. Coach Hannah talking about struggling scoring goals. Her team down 2-1, 11:08 to go in the first half. As you're watching the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week. Coach Klein addressing his Broncos. His program very young, only their third year. Last year they were getting beaten down soundly by the likes of Blue Valley, Scion, and St. Teresa's Academy. Not this year. They haven't beaten the big three in this league, but they've played them closer. Evidence last night. Blue Valley, a team that crushed them last year, like 22-3. They played them to within 2 goals at 15-13. So baby steps, they're moving up, and they're getting better. And I would say they're just a few years away. We talk about the sport growing on the boys' side. Let me tell you something. In Lee Summit, it is growing big time on the girls' side, and for that matter, in the whole metro area.
Yeah, and with the girls, there's I believe there's 18 to 20 youth programs, and then at the high school level and the KC Metro Girls Lacrosse Association, there's 9 programs. This sport is really attractive to a lot of kids, and a lot of youngsters see their friends running around with the sticks, and just like you see here, you're able to pass with your dad or your mom, and it's a cool little game, and you see, little guys like that. And it's pretty cool to drive around town and you see all the lacrosse goals and all these kids picking it up, and what's traditionally been an East Coast sport is migrated here to the Midwest, and a lot of the young student athletes are finding opportunities to play in high school as well as at the collegiate level.
That might be the coach for St. Teresa's son, Braden. She said, I have a 2.5-year-old. He's had a stick in his hand since he's been in the crib. And you'll love this one, Elmer, as the shot is denied there. Anderson, she says, ultimately we hope Braden ends up at Rockhurst and plays for the Rockhurst Lacrosse High School program during his high school days.
Well, there you go. That'd be a good goal to strive for. The Rockhurst boys lost last night to Shawnee Mission East in the semifinals of the LAKC.
Well, there you take a look at the 32-year-old head coach. Coach Hannah went to Olathe East. Husband Jason, they have 2.5-year-old son Braden. And,
should we call her CSI Hannah?
Yeah, you can call her that. It was kind of like, you know, you make a joke that they've heard like a million times.
Right.
They go, never heard that one before, Kevin. Yes, I work in the crime lab. Oh, you guys have watched the television show CSI? Yes, that is what I do. And the shot going in. Lee Summit North with the score. And we think it was Shayna Stevens. So that would be her second of the game. And take a look at number 33, and it is indeed Shayna Stevens with her second one. And Shayna now with 23 goals on the season, and it's a 3-1 lead for Lee Summit North. Their ultimate goal this year, to beat one of these big three teams, as Stevens hitting the deck this time. The big three in this league, the Blue Valley Titans, Scion, and St. Teresa's Academy. They've been the top three teams in this league. And the baby program, the team trying to get up to the elite level, wants to go on the road and beat the Stars. Quickly back the other way. Natalie Rawl, who's been one of the more improved players in this program, started out on JV. She got a slow start to the season. She had mononucleosis, but she has really come on. Number 4 for St. Teresa's. Shot hit by the stick of Anderson, as that was Grace Wells taking the shot, but Anderson has been very good in the pipes tonight for Lee Summit North.
Another interesting tidbit about the girls' game is that there can be moving picks, Kevin, where the boys can't do that. But in the girls' game, if you can pull off a moving pick and the opponent can see you setting the pick, it's deemed legal.
The check was by Wells. Woolery back the other way, and a player hitting the deck.
So there we have a pick set. However, the defender was not aware of it.
Katie Keene, the young freshman sensation, hitting the deck. And they'll give the ball to Lee Summit North. And Keene will try to find Maddie Klein up the field. Maddie good with the ground ball. She leads in the ground ball category for the Broncos, and she's their top goal scorer.
Maddie's doing a nice job of dodging side to side. What she cannot do is take a shot while the defender is directly in between her and the goal. So what she's doing is she's moving to her left quickly to try and draw the defender to guard her that direction, and then will quickly dodge back the other direction to get to an area where she can let a shot fly.
Lee Summit North, they've been attacking pretty quickly in this game. But this time they're showing a little more patience on the offensive end, trying to set it up. Remember, 6 is their big star. 33 is also a big goal scorer. There's Maddie Klein going to work. Maddie, a 3-year player. She likes to work the high attack, and that's where she's at now. And swerving through defenders, and the defense able to deny her that time. Look like is that Coppinger? There's another freshman. Do note that Lee Summit North employs 8th graders on their team. So they got a couple of youngsters playing. 8th graders can play in this league. And the Broncos have a couple, and they're emerging players. They've got more experience than some of the older players on the team, as the shot is blocked again. As that was Muehlbach trying to take a close-in shot. Maddie Klein a little shaken up. She got hit by Jenks, the goalkeeper. Broncos able to scoop up the ground ball. They lead it 3-1 here. And here's Stevens. She's their fastest player. Shayna, 23 goals on the year, weaving, firing, and scoring. The hat trick for SS. Shayna Stevens, the junior. After 6 goals last night, she is feeling it right now. And she's on a major scoring kick for the Broncos.
You see here as Shayna's driving to the goal, and she just rips a shot. She finds that low left corner. Another good look here. I mean, that shot may be going 50 miles per hour. You'll see the boys shoot upwards in the 80s, 90s, some of them. And the girls, with their pocket being flat, it's a little more difficult for them to kind of crank back and really put a lot of velocity on their shots. But the good ones out here, they can let it fly, Kevin.
Well, Coach Klein said we're an athletic team. We have the belief right now. We just need to be in the right place at the right time. They're a very inexperienced team. Those 6 of the 17 players are first-year players. And they've got 6 of their 17 players as 8th and 9th graders, so freshmen and 8th graders. So Summit North, a very young team. They rely heavily on 33 and 6, though. Shayna Stevens has delivered with the hat trick, giving her team a 4-1 lead here in the first half. Jenks has it back. Now, Jenks is an aggressive goalkeeper. She likes to move out of the goalie circle and play it up to teammates. Klein able to steal it back for Lee Summit North. Maddie Klein came in with 57 goals, their top goal scorer for the Broncos. The team captain. Yes, it is the coach's daughter.
Now Maddie's able to hold the ball here without really being pressured too hard, too strongly by the St. Teresa's defender, because there's no body contact. The star player cannot push. Oh, here we have another. We might have a.
All I saw in my peripheral vision was Jessica Hanna, the St. Teresa's coach, stomping her foot. She's not happy about the call. As we got a Stars player running off, and that is Sam Adams, the senior, an all-star player, good cross-country athlete. And Coach Hanna will talk to her player as I guess she got a 2-minute penalty here, a yellow card, as Coach Hanna discusses it with her senior there. Adams going to play club lacrosse at K-State, as that's Maddie Klein.
Wow.
Just going in front, not much velocity on that shot, just kind of put it in the right place. And that's her 58th goal of the year, first of the game.
Yeah, we can see why Maddie has 58 goals this year. She's making a lot of athletic plays. That last one was a great example. You don't always have to have a beautiful shot to score. A lot of times you just make it happen. You kind of athlete the ball in the goal.
Yeah, she did. Just used her strength and just kind of flicked it in there past Jenks. She had 5 goals last night. Her season high in goals is 10 versus Lee Summit West in an 18-3 win. She's a big-time scorer, but she's obviously a talented musician as she's going to the University of Nebraska on a music scholarship. She plays the double bass. And she's gonna...
Like the bass guitar?
Not quite, I don't think. I think it's the boom, 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 boom thing. Coach tried to explain it to me. I was, a little slow in picking it up. Front pass find. And a bouncer in there.
Nice find by Lisa.
That's Malia Sapp, the junior, her 8th goal of the year. As where was the defense for St. Teresa's? As it looked like Sapp, number 47, was wide open.
Well, Teresa's is they're serving the penalty over there on the sidelines, and
player down.
It's non-releasable, and so they're effectively one girl down. And at least Summit North, what'd you say it was Sapp? She just snuck behind everybody, caught a beautiful pass, and then capitalized with a nice bounce shot.
The junior, first year playing. They say she's a low attacking player, and difference is the low attacking player is works behind the goal and around the goal area as the officials talking with Jessica Hanna there, the St. Teresa's coach, and Chris Klein, who is the Lee Summit North coach. We have an idea what the gist of this conversation is all about?
No, I wish I did, Kevin. But one thing I can
far
mention
side of the field from us
about the girls' game is that it's a little bit more formal than the guys, and you'll see moments like this where the coach can talk to the umpires and get a clarification, whereas in the boys' game it's just kind of, hey, let's keep it going, let's get a goal. If we get a penalty, it's served, and then you keep rolling.
So they're obviously discussing things with the men in stripes. Once again, Saturday, the league championship played right here at St. Teresa's Academy for the KCMGLA. That's the Kansas City Metro Girls Lacrosse Association. And it'll be the 4-seed Lee Summit North playing Blue Valley at 10 a.m. And then the noon game is a rivalry game. Scion St. Teresa's in the 2-3 matchup. That will be at noon. They'll have a JV title game, which is the same matchup. St. Teresa's undefeated in JV play, taking on Scion. And then the varsity championship will be played at 4 p.m. Saturday right here at St. Teresa's. Blue Valley, the Titans are the defending league champions. So Blue Valley trying to do it again. They're on top of this league. Scion second, St. Teresa's third, Lee Summit North is fourth, Lee Summit fifth, Lee Summit West sixth, and Shawnee Mission East seventh as far as the standings go. So the discussion over, and we're ready for a draw.
First half, we've got 2 minutes, 2 seconds left. It's a 25-minute half, and we have a running clock. Big difference there between the girls and the guys game. Nice passing here by St. Teresa's and working it into the 12-meter arc.
That is Muehlbach in the X area. Coach Hanna said we have struggled scoring goals. And right now, that is playing out here in this first half as they trail it 6-1 as we're just over a minute before halftime.
Yeah, lacrosse is a game of a lot of goals, and it's very difficult if you're a defensive-minded team that doesn't score a lot, or if you're just struggling on offense that day.
And now the whistle blows as Muehlbach was attacking. You probably remember Audrey's brother, Pete. He was quite the player at Rockhurst.
Yeah, Peter is he's younger than I am, but we played some summer league lacrosse together, and he's a good player. He's a guy you want to have on your team, a very talented face-off guy. I'm not sure if his sister, if she's a draw.
No, she doesn't do that. Yeah, that was his forte, was winning those face-offs. Shot,
Ooh, nice.
Bouncing in there. That is Ann Knowlton, the tall sophomore, her 21st goal of the year. And she leads the team in that category. She was an all-star earlier this year, considered the most improved player, and a much-needed goal for the Stars here late in the first half.
We take another look at it, and nice bounce shot. She finds her way in front of the goal, creates some space between her and the defender, ensures that her defender is not between her and the goal, and she takes a beautiful bounce shot right over the goalie's shoulder.
So the attacker, Ann Knowlton, scoring along with Katie Hornbeck. Her 2 goals on the board for St. Teresa's Academy, but they're down 6-2. Seen a hat trick in the first half by Stevens for the Broncos. And the draw is no good by St. Teresa's, so they'll give it to Maddie Klein right at the draw area. And number 6 will race it up. And whistle stopping play again. There's more contact between players.
We just saw there, Maddie, the whistle was blown and she was at a certain spot and she kept running, so she has to get right back to the spot where she was when the whistle was blown.
There's hitting the deck and more whistles.
Looks like we had a little charge there effectively.
Is that Fossey? Yeah, Devin Fossey, number 31, the aggressive midfielder. Very improved player as well. All-star, returning starter.
So here we have a free possession try, and she's outside the 12-meter arc.
And Fossey, oh, good stick work there by Jenks as she knocks it to her left. And that is a big save right before halftime as the Broncos have gone up by 5 goals here. Maddie Klein going to take the last shot before halftime, it looks like.
Well, she
can't find the clock, and they don't get a shot off, so we'll be at 6-2 at intermission on Senior Day here at St. Teresa's Academy. But the home team is down. Lee Summit North leads St. Teresa's 6-2 as you're watching the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week here on Time Warner Cable's Metro Sports. Coming back with Hy-Vee at the half. The Hy-Vee Game of the Week is brought to you by Hy-Vee, the official sponsors of High School Spirit. Halftime score 6-2, Lee Summit North on top of St. Teresa's Academy. More from STA right after this. Time now for the Hy-Vee first half stats. Broncos lead at 6-2 on the scoreboard. St. Teresa's, though, leading in ground balls, shots on goal. But the Broncos leading in faceoffs 5-3. Hy-Vee at the half continues right after this. Shayna Stevens leading Lee Summit North. She has a hat trick, and her Broncos lead at 6-2 at halftime. More right after this. Underway with the start of the second half, 6-2 Broncos on top of the Stars. We're at St. Teresa's Academy, the McDonald Family Sports Complex. What a complex this is. This is state-of-the-art here. Right, lacrosse field, soccer field. Lee Summit North in the maroon with the ball. Stevens and Klein, 33 and 6. Their big studs have delivered in the first half. They have 4 of the 6 on the board for the visitors. Any other players that stood out for you in the first half, Andrew?
Well, what we see from Lee Summit North is a tremendous amount of team passing. And they got 2 girls that are really putting the ball in the back of the net. They've kind of got that scoring sense. Whereas St. Teresa's is struggling a little bit to find their feet here.
Here's Stevens with the power move and shot. Jenks the save.
Right into the goal, right into the goalkeeper's stick.
Tried to go below the waist and to the right of the keeper, but Jenks able to get the netting on it. Now the Stars turn it over. Maddie Klein hitting the deck and holding her face. And she's shaken up, and that will bring a whistle and a stoppage in play. There you take a look at the girls' goggles that they wear. No helmets. And from talking to coaches around the area, they don't want helmets in the girls' game.
They definitely don't. Traditionally, the game's been played without them. I mean, there's no checking to the head, so the girls really don't need them. For them, it's this protective eyewear is kind of a nuisance. I know the girls I played that I was friends with that played growing up, they didn't want to wear them, and they'd kind of trying to find a way to hike them up a little bit on their heads so they could keep their view sheds open.
Muehlbach with it out front, setting it up. That's Edmonds. Edmonds, the sophomore, also plays tennis here at FTA. Edmonds got a step on the defender, throws a bouncer, and shot it wide of the cage.
Edmonds threw a nice little head fake there and kind of got her defender to move with it a little bit and got herself a step to get a shot off. This game is much different than the boys, and I got to tell you, Kevin, for me it's nice because it's really about team play. It's about efficient passing. It's about keeping the field spread, and you have to play well as a team to score. And I know we've got some standouts out here on the field, but this is a tremendous team game. When it's played well, it's pretty to watch.
Yeah, the coaches talked about how pretty this game can be when it's played well, passed efficiently. And here's Knowlton, and she shot it wide, just to the right of Anderson, and had a goal in the first half. Stars keeping it and continue attacking. And this shot is going in.
Beautiful.
Forceful shot by Anna Mayer, the sophomore, battling a foot injury. And a nice move and a right-handed score by Ann Mayer.
Just like we always tell the young players out there, those bounce shots, those are the best shots to take. We'll see here as Anna's running towards the goal, finds an open spot, shoots kind of across her body almost to hit that far away pipe on the bounce shot. Extremely tough for the goalie to see that and stop it. Get her big goalie stick on it. That's tough.
So the Stars creeping back in it. At one point down 6-1. Notched back-to-back goals. St. Teresa's has never lost to Lee Summit North. They're 5-0 against this program. That's why the Broncos so badly want to win this game.
Yeah, we see the ball down here on the beautiful carpet. But what's really the tricky thing here is that the girls' sticks, they're more or less glorified tennis rackets. So when they pick the ball up, they have to do an extremely good job of cradling it and keeping it in their stick, or some would call it the cross.
Yeah, it's a much flatter stick. Bounce shot, no good by Hornbeck. But the Stars keeping and continuing attack. Edmonds with a shot and a goal. Stars right back in it. It's now 6-4, Sydney Edmonds.
As we see the girls running back to the draw area, we'll take another look at this. And Sydney takes a nice dodge on the goal and again finds that low bounce shot and finds that low away corner spot. Extremely difficult for the goalies to stop that. So now we have a timeout. Both teams will talk it over.
Comes at the 19:47 mark to go in your second half. Let's take a look at your Hy-Vee first half highlights, and it was a good first half for the visiting Broncos.
See some nice goalie play from both teams. St. Teresa's goalie is dialed in. She's seeing the ball really well, and more nice, efficient passing from St. Teresa's. But it was all Lee Summit North. We see some more nice ball movement from St. Teresa's. What a beautiful complex this is, Kevin. I mean, this place is tremendous. If you're a youngster and you want to play lacrosse, and this is where you want to be in the city. It's a great atmosphere. We're surrounded right here, right in a nice residential area, and the field is tremendous because for the girls' game, having the field this wide it's an advantage for certain teams. These teams that want to run a lot.
So after the timeout, St. Teresa's on a roll, 3 unanswered goals. Yes, we're at the McDonald Family Sports Complex. If you're wondering where St. Teresa's Academy is located, 56th and Main, one of the more beautiful areas of the Kansas City metro area. Just come down here and check out the facilities. Check out some girls lacrosse this weekend as they'll have their league championship tournament going on this weekend. Draw control taken by Klein as she runs down the left half. Maddie trying to free herself for a right-handed shot. Trying to get a screen there. Now she's freed up. The defender coming over there, denying her. There's Maddie Davis with some good defense.
Maddie's surveying the field here from what we call the X position, which is that area behind the goal. Looking for an open teammate. Makes a pass, it's not found, and nice ground ball pickup.
The Broncos had the momentum in the first half, but it's been all STA in the second half, so they'll go to their big star to try to change things. Klein holding the ball, drawing a lot of white jerseys.
I guess you'll do that when you score about 5 times in the first half.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Now Stevens with it. Stevens has 3 goals, 24 on the year. Stevens has it behind the net.
Yeah, for everybody that's watching, you may be thinking, well, why are the girls standing around? It seems like they're standing in spots and there's not a lot of movement. But what they're doing is you got to find that open spot for you to find your teammate. And you can't really just kind of run around in the girls' game. You have to be calculated. And
Klein got the shot back
there
and
we
put
go.
it in. Looked like her shot hit a defender early on in front of Jenks, and she's able to scoop it back up and put it back in the goal, and a much-needed goal for the Broncos of Lee Summit North. Her second of the day, 59th of the year, and it is now 7-4, Broncos on top of the Stars.
we take another look at this. A loose ball situation picked up by Maddie, and she buries it 5-hole right between the goalie's legs. Here's another good look. Goalie drops down, but just can't get down quick enough.
Yeah.
How many is that for Maddie today?
2. Stevens has 3. Another goal scorers, Nichols and Sapp for the visiting Broncos. Looking to get a breakthrough win here on the road, beating one of the big 3 of this girls metro area league. It's Fossey running it up. Devon, their most improved player, an all-star. Get it right into the hands of Stevens. And quickly the defenders start putting that defense on her. She's trying to get a screen set up. Like Sarah Welsh was going to try to set up a screen. Here goes Shayna to work. Shayna looks like she can run all day.
She does. You see the girls, and they play with their sticks, or we also call it the cross. They're very vertical. You have to play that way because the pocket, I've said it a few times, but it's a glorified tennis racket with plastic sidewalls, which holds the ball on the pocket. But in order to cradle, you have to have your stick relatively vertical.
It is a flatter pocket in the stick. And now the defense knocks it away and creates a turnover. And quickly back the other way. It looked like that was Coppinger, the freshman sensation. Grace Wells working at the left side, gets a screen, and then hits the deck. Ball comes loose. And who can scoop up that ground ball?
A nice flip there by St. Teresa's player.
And Ann Knowlton, the sophomore, gets it back.
Nice ground ball by Knowlton. Just like we teach the young guys, if the ball's down and everybody's whacking away at it, it's best to scoop it out and flip it out to yourself.
Trying to get it in the inside there. The ball sails away, and Lee Summit North has it back. There's Megan Rapp trying to get it out of their zone. Megan, an all-star, team leader, 3 years playing, real tough player for the Broncos. Trying to get that ground ball, and it goes out of bounds. The officials say Lee Summit North possession as they lead by 3 goals. As the clock under 15 minutes to play in regulation. As there you take a closer look at that stick, that's very flat.
Absolutely. There's in the boys' game, you can have a deep pocket that is as deep as the diameter of the lacrosse ball, which is about 2.5 inches. But in the girls' game, they play with the same ball size, but the pocket on their stick has to be extremely flat. The rules and regulations are laid out.
And Knowlton attacking and scoring high. And she went high on the keeper and knocked it in past Anderson. Ann Knowlton, her second goal of the game and her 22nd of the year.
Here's another good look. We got an excellent passing here by St. Teresa's, and Ann Knowlton just buries that shot. I mean, she found that open spot on the goal, and there's no denying her. Worked her way right behind all the Lee Summit North defenders, found that open spot and buries it.
Coach Hannah saying she has really improved. She has a good shot percentage, shoots 74%, I beg your pardon, shots on goal average. So that's a good high percentage. Almost 3/4 of her shots at the cage. St. Teresa's, Andrew, you seem to have the momentum right now?
I would say they do. Absolutely, Kevin. And we win those ground balls, and again, just like we've talked in the past, is the draws in the girls' game are tremendous in creating momentum. You win those draws, and you got the ball and you can score.
Rawl playing it inside. Shot got deflected by Rapp. Good defense helping the goalkeeper out by number 9, Rapp in maroon. Let the Stars keep it, trying to rally to win this one. This is Rawl with it. Natalie Rawl will set it up front. Aaronsburg, Elizabeth, nicknamed Jim. Don't ask. Nobody will explain it to you. They just call her Jim.
Ooh, good pass.
Pass off the stick and collected by the goalkeeper, Lauren Anderson. So a missed opportunity there for St. Teresa's Academy, as Danny Porter had a point-blank chance. Now they get it right back. St. Teresa's.
A nice turnover pickup by the Stars.
And now a whistle stopping play as the Broncos were trying to run it out. That was Lindsey Graham.
We have a violation there of the what do we call it, Kevin? It's the 7-inch bubble around the head. It's a protective zone, and you can't. Yeah. If you're the defending player, you cannot put your stick in that halo area.
Yeah, just imagine a spear around the head of a player. You don't, even if you get close, you don't even have to touch the head. If the stick is in that area, within that sphere, they will stop play. Here comes Shayna Stevens. Shayna with a hat trick, firing. Jenks got the low save.
Nice save.
That is a big save. St. Teresa's tries to rally here on their senior day before their league championship. They'll host it on Saturday in this beautiful field and beautiful complex. And the throwaway by the Stars. And here the fans to our left kind of let out a groan there, as here's Maddie Klein back in action. And he slows things down and will set up the offense.
Anybody that's wondering, we've talked about the sticks a lot. They're the same length as the guys. However, what you won't see out here is anyone with the 6-foot pole. And so in the boys' game, they'll have defenders with 6-foot long shafts on their stick, and the girls don't have that.
This is Costos, Paxton, second on the team in ground balls, one of the assist leaders on the team. Loose ball, and Nichols able to collect it back for the Broncos. Barron had the first goal of the match today, back early on in the first half.
You'll see here it's important for the girls to be able to play and cradle and pass with both hands.
Now the whistle blows, and it's going to be on 16, Danny Porter, as she was warding off the offensive player.
Right, it could have been a cross check.
Broncos have it, and their star has it. Now another whistle, and like an obstruction situation as Maddie Klein was taking it on the inside, and that's Danny Porter running off, senior.
When we see the umpire extend both hands, Kevin, that's what you would call
so she'll go off with a 2-minute violation.
Pushing her body contact.
So there you take a look at your officiating crew today. Umpires Darren Wright and Sidney Bennett officiating here.
Moving the girls around into position where they'd like.
Maddie Klein has the free shot. It looks like the Broncos are content to maybe run a little clock here with the lead, but momentum clearly not on the side of the Broncos right now. So as we get another whistle.
We've got a timeout for Red.
So the Broncos going to take a timeout. They lead it 7-5, 9:21 to go in regulation. We're back to STA after this timeout as you're watching the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week. Back here at St. Teresa's Academy, second half action. Lee Summit North trying to get their first ever win against a Big Three team here in the KCMGLA. The Big Three being Blue Valley, Scion, and St. Teresa's Academy. They're 0-5 against St. Teresa's, and they're holding on by a thread here. As here goes Stevens, and the whistles continue to halt play. Looks like another call on the Stars. Stars come in at 9-3. Summit North at 6-4 after a loss last night to Blue Valley. They played Blue Valley tough. Blue Valley's the top team in this league. They'll be the #1 seed in the league tournament coming up this weekend, Saturday here at STA. Here comes Costos. Jenks with another save on the low shot. Kelly Jenks headed to play club lacrosse at Denver. And the pass ahead, picked off there by Edmonds. Edmonds trying to find Knowlton out front. It just got past her. That's the ideal play. Get it to your top goal scorer, but instead the Broncos have it right back. The Broncos get careless with the pass. Give it right back to the Stars. A goal here by the Stars. And all of a sudden, their stomach's going to start to tighten up if you're the Broncos. Driving the right side. And now she'll go around the goal. That is Ann Mayer. And Ann scores! Her second of the game. And she just whirled around the cage. Found an opening and put it in. And that is her second of the game. Young sophomore Ann Mayer.
We talked about it earlier, Kevin. A lot of these goals they're scored on just athletic plays. And she works away right here around to the front of the crease. Reaches almost behind her defender to get that shot off. And here's a tremendous angle. Finds an open spot. Goalie's moving away. Buries it. That's beautiful stuff there.
Ann's name is spelled M-E-A-G-H-E-R, but it's pronounced Mayer. And here comes the Stars. That one looked like it hit the side of the cage. Some orange pipe there. Stars down by as many as 6-1, trying to rally to win this. Bouncing shot. Anderson,
wow.
Nice save with her legs that time.
Tremendous save. I mean, this is a critical point in the game. Momentum is completely with the Stars. It's a tremendous save there by Lee Summit North's keeper.
Lauren Anderson directing some traffic. Stars getting to Knowlton, their top goal scorer. She whirls around. Find the opening that Mayer just saw. So she'll be patient and set up her offense. Finding Ann Mayer, and shot bouncing in. Hat trick for the sophomore Ann Mayer. And we're tied at 7 with just under 6 to play in regulation.
Tremendous passing here by the Stars. A beautiful bounce shot that just sneaks in right past the keeper. Might even hit looks like it hit off her knee there. But you know what? In lacrosse, that's how it goes. You put it on goal, and a lot of times good things will happen.
So Coach Hanna's team has battled back. They were down 6-1 in the first half, tied it at 7. Here comes Maddie Klein back for Lee Summit North, hitting the deck. And the whistles will blow. And Klein is shaken up and grabbing her right knee. And this is not good. Her father is the coach, and they signal to him to come from the sidelines. And scary moment as a dad and a coach for Chris Klein as he comes off the bench area.
Yeah, it looks like here she may have taken a little unincidental knee contact, and the girls don't wear protection on their legs. She's dodging to score, and we'll see if she catches something here.
Gone knee to knee with a player.
Ouch! Knee to knee. Yeah, just like you would see in any other sport. I know hockey has a lot of issues with this, but
basketball especially, and it is painful as all get out. As Coppinger's a big freshman too. She plays basketball, and but I like Coppinger showing sportsmanship, kneeling next to her, making sure she's going to be okay. And as the trainer out to take a look at Maddie Klein, we'll have more from STA in the final 5 minutes of this Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week after this timeout on Metro Sports. After an injury timeout, we are back to playing here at St. Teresa's Academy. Tied at 7 with just over 5 to go. Shot. Save there. What a play by Jenks again on a free shot situation.
That was a tremendous view of that free shot. And so the St. Teresa's player is on the 8-meter fan, and everybody else has to be back on 4 meters back on that 12-meter fan. And the umpire blows the whistle, and we go.
Anderson got the save this time. Ball fought for near the goalie circle area, and St. Teresa's will come away with it. That was Molly Laird doing some hustling there. Here's Muehlbach. Muehlbach fanning out now. Trying to set the offense, trying to take the lead. Edmonds the shot. And it's blocked by Anderson. Ball on the field. And coming out of there is Rapp. Check that.
Ooh, nice check. Nice check there by the Stars, but it looks like there was a...
That was like Kemper, I beg your pardon.
That check was too close to the head. Ball's awarded to Lee Summit North.
That is Kemper. And Alexa is an 8th grader. Look how big she is for an 8th grader. Is she just bringing it up the field and bringing it right in the face of St. Thomas Aquinas. And now a whistle, and they call the foul, a charge on the 8th grader. So Kemper was being aggressive there, and too aggressive, and they'll give it back to St. Teresa's. 7-7 tie here. 3.5 clock is running. And we get a timeout on the field.
We see the girls, they drop their crosses right on the field. Here's a good look at that charge, and just like in basketball, you cannot initiate contact with a defensive player, especially if you're running down the field at full speed.
When I first saw Kemper defending back there, I thought it was Rapp. Rapp's a senior. But Kemper is an 8th grader. And they got a couple of 8th graders, Natalie Rice and Alexa Kemper. And Kemper, she don't look like an 8th grader.
No way. She was
moving it up the field. Shots on goal. Well, St. Teresa's 27, Lee Summit North 15, but we're still tied.
Yeah, that's pretty telling for the efficiency of the Lee Summit North shots, though. I mean, they got girls that know how to find the net, and they're putting it on goal in the right spots.
And the Stars leading in ground balls, 21-13. But Lee Summit North winning the draws. Yeah,
the draws are a huge. They're a huge piece of the game, just like you'd see in the guys' game. And if you can get that possession off of a restart after a goal or at the start of a quarter, you have a tremendous opportunity to possess the ball and get more shots. And therefore you get more opportunities to win more games. I mean, it's a pretty simple equation. Oh yeah, this is we were thinking about this earlier. If this game ends in a tie, Actually, it can end in a tie. A regulation can end in a tie. And then what you'll do is we'll have a 6-minute overtime period, which is separated into 2 halves, 2 3-minute halves. The first 3-minute half, there can be multiple goals scored by either team. And if the game is tied going into the second 3-minute half, then it will be sudden death, or the first goal wins. So a little bit different than the boys' games that we've broadcast so far this year, but still a very exciting way to finish a game.
Right now, the momentum with St. Teresa's Academy, but the ball belonging to Shayna Stevens and Lee Summit North as the whistle stops play.
Spirited crowd here today. Everybody wants to.
Well, it's senior day here at the McDonald Family Sports Complex. And now we're getting a little rain starting to fall, and the umbrellas are going to start popping here.
We got a nice little
downpour.
Nice little sprinkling
late in the game here.
Rolling through Brookside.
I'll send the folks scurrying. Shayna Stevens with it. Goal line extended right. Shayna has the hat trick. Shayna is really their dangerous scorer today. She gets it inside and puts it in. Shayna Stevens forcing the action and scores the goal to make it 8-7. Lee Summit North. Shayna Stevens now a 4-goal game and pushes the Broncos on top 8-7 with under 3 to play in regulation.
Yeah, the rain doesn't bother these girls. They're going to keep playing and probably turn it up a notch as we see a nice dodge here to the goal, finding that low left corner, buries it. Beautiful. Can't do it any better than that.
Stevens now with 25 goals on the year. Remember, she had 6 goals last night in the loss to Blue Valley, so 4 is still substandard to her. Big goal for the Broncos at the 2:40 mark as we get another timeout as the showers continue here in the Brookside area. And Andrew Elmer's fan club has all joined us here under our nice tent that we're broadcasting.
Yeah, we just
wow, I didn't know so many people liked you.
We added about 20 people to the broadcast. I like it.
I thought it was that little guy that was walking around here. He wanted to join us too. 10-month-old boy.
This is good. I mean, we got a nice tent here, and we're happy to share it with everybody.
Coach Hannah talking to her girls. Coach Klein having a discussion with his Broncos there. I guess yeah. There we are. Right there on the track there. We got the nice St. Teresa's tent to broadcast under on a rainy Thursday in Brookside. Some of the folks brought their umbrellas. Kind of an interesting day. Typical spring Kansas City day. It was hot earlier, and it was windy, and it was cloudy. It had some showers, but no thunder showers, and we're playing on a field turf field, so the play will continue as Maddie Klein and Sydney Edmonds get ready for the draw. Sydney looks okay. She was shaken up with a knee injury a couple minutes ago, but looks like she's flexing her right knee, and she'll stay out there, and she'll take the draw with Edmonds of STA.
And with under 3 minutes to go, these girls want to bring this win home.
And here's Ann Knowlton. And playing it out to the right side. That's Edmonds. Edmonds has a goal. Big star of the second half, though, has been Anna Mayer for the Stars. And the bouncing shot, not much on it, picked up, and the shot is denied. Muehlbach had a point-blank shot there, but Anderson cut off the angle. And let's see who will have possession here.
Lee Summit North is awarded possession.
Broncos going to try to clear their zone.
Clearing pass and
up the field.
Connects.
They get it to Stevens. And Shayna, so strong, crashing into the defender, and it's a blocking foul. And it's coming up on Coppinger, the freshman sensation. Christina Coppinger, number 45, crashing into Stevens, draws the whistle.
So she'll restart with the ball at the position, at the area on the field where the foul was committed.
Well, this is dangerous if you're cheering for STA here. Stevens elects not to attack and will play it out to Klein here. Looks like the Broncos want to run clock as they have the 1-goal lead here late. But they give up the ball.
Here we go. We got a nice push by the Stars.
Hornbeck feeding it up the field, but the pass misses the mark for Knowlton. And Rapp has it back, but she hits the deck and it's scooped up by STA. Driving it in. And the shot is blocked. Anderson, nice denial there.
Closest to the ball as it exits the field of play.
Is that Anna Mayer again? Boy, she's been aggressive in the second half, taking that shot there. She has a 3-goal second half. Here's Anna trying to go with her roundhouse move here. She scored on this move earlier. The defender's hawking her. She lost the ball and hit the deck.
Excellent check by the defender.
Stars able to maintain possession. Sam Adams, check that, Woolery got it back. And play it on the inside. Ball bouncing wide of the goal. Oh my, that was so close as we're under a minute to play in regulation. And now Anderson throws it away, and that's a huge mistake there. The goalkeeper trying to find a defender gives it right back to STA with the clock down to 37 seconds to go.
With now that we're under 2 minutes, Kevin, the ball will the clock will stop every time that the ball exits the field of play or if there's a foul occurred.
But it's big that St. Teresa's gets it back down by a goal.
Loose ball
here.
right in front of the crease.
And the shot is missing again from point blank. That was Muehlbach, the junior. Her brother starred at Rockhurst. But St. Teresa's still has time on the clock. They have possession. Here's Muehlbach again.
Ooh, loose ball.
And now we've got
a
charge on number 7 for STA. It'll be Lee Summit North getting possession.
That's a tough one.
Tough call late with 20 seconds to go in regulation. Signaling Lee Summit North with the ball. Now they must take care of it and run the clock out. They get it up near midfield, and we've got a whistle.
I didn't see the call.
This is Sarah Welsh playing it up. Ball is loose. Clock ticking away, though. And they're going to have to do some quick work. Long pass down the field. Knowlton going to have to take a shot, but she does not get it off in time. And it's a historic win for the Lee Summit North Broncos girls lacrosse program. One of their big goals this year. They wanted to top the Big Three. They wanted to beat Blue Valley. They wanted to beat Scion or St. Teresa's. Well, today they got it done, much to the chagrin of St. Teresa's Academy on their senior day, but this is a big win for Lee Summit North. They've now won 7 of their last 8. As they win at 8-7, they go to 7-4 on the year. And St. Teresa's Academy will drop to 9-4 and host the league championship coming up here on Saturday. Final score, 8-7, exciting action here.
Yeah, that was a fantastic late push by the St. Teresa's girls, and they just fell a little bit short. Had excellent opportunities to score there in the last 2 minutes, but just couldn't find the back of the goal. And you see Coach Hannah talking to her youngsters here. She's expressing, I'm sure that, tremendous amount of pride in their hard work today, but you know what? They came up short on their senior day. And
big star of the game for Lee Summit North. She had the game-winning goal and finished with 4 goals. Shayna Stevens, Lee Summit North wins at 8-7. Our producer's been Corey Smith. For Andrew Elmer and our entire Metro Sports broadcasting crew, Kevin White saying so long from the McDonald Family Sports Complex at St. Teresa's Academy. Our final once again, Lee Summit North beating St. Teresa's Academy for the first time in their school's history, 8-7. Have a great weekend and say Happy Mother's Day to Mom this weekend. We'll see you later as you're watching the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week here on Time Warner Cable's Metro Sports.